Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be using Howdy Coder to implement a voice to text algorithm so that I can use my voice to control chess moves on chess.com. So first we're going to get started by creating a new algo. And now we're ready to give it a name, and here we'll name it voice to chess. And now that we have our algo, we want to add a data source to it, and that is going to be my voice for this. So we'll slowly hit add. We'll have a user input, and we will just name this speech to text. Now that we have that, we're going to want to select the type of input that this is, and this is a speech to text thing, as I just named it. And now we will hit next. Now that we have parameters here, this isn't something that will be used for the voice inputs, so we can just hit next here. Looking at this, just make sure you hit confirm first. Everything looks good. Over speech to text, you can hit confirm, and then next. Alright, now that we've confirmed our data source, what we need to do is add our actions. And basically what I'm going to be doing is adding two events here, and it's going to be two events that represent two chess positions. I would be saying verbally out loud two chess positions, one after another, and what the program's going to do is move the chess piece from the first position to the second position. So for this first event, let's set it up to be chess position 1, and we'll give a little function so it can generate it for it. And what I'll do is given text from a data set containing two chess positions, a letter A to H, followed by a number 1 through 8, get the first chess position. And then I'll hit create new function. And what that will do is what I just wrote in plain old English is it will send it to AI and generate a function for me that will be readable by the compiler. So we'll just wait, let it go. That was quick. We got it. We're also going to save this so that I can use it later for the second chess position because it's going to be a very similar function. We'll hit select, and now what we got to do is fill out this little name here, text, and now we are good to go. Now there are no parameters, we can hit next here as well. And now if everything looks great, you can hit confirm. And as I said, we want to be adding an event for the second chess position as well. So we have our chess position 1. Now what we want to do is add chess position 2, which is also an event. And here, instead of creating a completely new function, what I do is I have this function from the previous one generating the first chess position, and I'll just say change this to get the second chess position instead of the first. And now I hit modify. And what I could have done is I could have gone into my library and loaded in this file that I just saved, but because this was just the most recent function that I wrote, it does save that session at the last function, so I can just modify this one, but I could load in a function from something I did earlier. So here we go. We got our second chess position. I'll select that, and here, same thing, fill out that variable so that everything matches, and now we can hit next. And this one also has no parameters as the first, so we can hit next again. And everything looks great, so we hit confirm. And now what we want to do is add another for the trigger. And this is exactly where we would do that. The trigger will take these chess positions and actually do something with them. So we have our trigger, and we will just call this chess move. And now what we need to do is just generate a function that always returns true. It's just a little something you have to do because every event or trigger needs to have a function. So we will just do that real quick so that we always return true here. And awesome. We will save that. And now for the actual logic behind the trigger. What we want this to do is given a mapping of chess positions to screen position xy as a parameter in position 1 and position 2 from dataset. There's some very key words here that I'll get into a sec that you've got to make sure you use. And click on position 2. So I will create a function based off that, But make sure to use perimeter and data set for specific things like that, as that is what is read by Howdy Coder. And now that we've created the function, we just wait and let the AI to create beautiful code for us. And should be here very shortly. There we go. We will select that. And now what we need to do is from that function is actually match these positions that it has to our event names. So we have this, position 2, and everything looks great. We will want new for these each time. This is something specific for these chess positions we want new, so we'll just fill those out. Now, what we need to do is we do have a parameter, this chess to screen map. So we will have to fill this out, unlike for the events. And what that basically is going to be a function that we're going to create. And here, what we're going to do is, it might be a little complicated, but I can get into what the CSV file is doing in just a sec. But we will read in a CSV file, ignore the first row, as we have a header row. And then for the remainder of the rows, create a mapping where the key is a chess position, a letter A to H, followed by a number 1 through 8, and the value is the CSV value converted to an integer tuple. Row 2 is A1. Give it some examples so that it knows what it's doing. Not always necessary, but good to let the AI know what it's doing. B2 and so on. Values of the CSV are strings like 100, 200. So I have a CSV file pre-prepared where I have like 100, 200 that's going to match the pixels of the screen, and it's going to help convert this to a chess move. So extract just the numbers from that and make an integer tuple out of that. So, long function, but we will get the AI to generate that for us. I actually used Howdy Coder to generate that CSV file for me previously, where I just had the mappings of certain key or certain computer positions to chess positions. So it's generating this function based on that right now. And if you ever need an explanation, get the explanation and have some comments about the code too, but not really necessary because it usually gets the job done. And there we go. Let's select there. And this did create a new parameter for us to fill out. CSV file name. And this is that file that I was just talking about that Howdy Coder previously supplied for me. It was position CSV. And now we should be good to go. We have our 2 events. We have our trigger. Confirmed everything. Okay, now that we've finalized everything, we are ready to start the algo. So I'll hit start, and behind here, I've got a chessboard prepared for us. I'll then hit input, and I'll have my webcam record my input, and then I'm going to say a chess move. G5 to F7. Then recorded what I said. I'll now hit enter, and we have a beautiful checkmate. And that is it. Thank you.